So welcome, this is my cold DoT elementalist, and currently I'm rank 10 and rank 1 witch. Rank 10 overall, rank 1 witch. I'm just gonna showcase the clear of this build. I'm also gonna do one big boom expedition, if I can find it quickly. Then I'm gonna go over the gear. So basically you're using mostly cold snap and vile cold snap clearing, and you can also sometimes use vortex. I prefer just using cold snap. So while cold snap has a base duration of 4 seconds, this expedition looks fine to me. So usually use while cold snap to clear the expedition. You kind of have to be constantly moving around if you're attacking like very large packs, because expedition just stand still for a while. Big boom against big boom expedition, you will get hit probably. So the clear is pretty good. It's a tier 16. I'm 15 hours into, almost 16 hours into the league, day 1. And I also have a lot of already done a lot of objectives with this build, so it's pretty solid. And I can also showcase the single tide very quickly. Just have to find a boss, although this build is not very good against the estuary boss. Likes to phase out a lot, I guess. So this is just with 16 hours gameplay time. It's a SSF league. And the single tire is also, in my opinion, okay. And for my gear, the most important stat is going to be +2 spell skills or +2 cold spell skills. It gives you roughly 15% more damage. And then I would look for something like damage over time multiplier or cold damage over time multiplier. And same with the shield, you want to get cold spell skills. You can also get cold spell on your amulet. I would recommend getting one with a open suffix, so you can craft increased effect of non-damaging ailments. I'm playing elementalist with Shape of Storms, so my hits will always shock and they will always be at least 25%. And this 25% will scale with increased effect of non-damaging ailments, so you can get this on the tree. Over here on Elemental Focus, you can also anoint this node, which is pretty good. Ash, Frost, and Storm, and then you can craft it on your boots and on your amulet. This is a nice way to improve your DPS. Then you can also use the Eye of Malice. Yeah, by enemies have 50% increased fire and cold resistance. This will also increase minus resistances. So in the case of Elementalist, you inflict a pretty high minus resistance because of Mastermind of Discord. Then you can also get Whispers of Doom and have both Elemental Weakness and Frostbite. And one important unique that you want to have is Valkyries. It will give +5 level to level of socketed Val Gems. This will apply to both your normal Cold Snap and the Val Cold Snap. But your support gems will lose 5 levels. So this glove is really good. It's a tier 3 unique. I got lucky and I got it from the Seer. Tier 3 means that it's not super rare, but it's also not very common. And you also want to get the +1 cold spell, cold skills gem mastery, and the cold damage over time multiplier for each 4% overcapped cold resistances. I have a lot of overcapped cold res, 211. And this is basically how you get your damage early on. This is my tree. I like to spec quite a bit of AoE. You get a lot from your, when you don't have convergence, then you can get amplify, you can get these nodes, you can get this. And my vortex and my cold snap, because of that, have a pretty huge radius. And I could also expand it a little bit more by getting more quality. I don't have 20% yet. And other than that, I go for ES Evasion. I recommend going ES Evasion and then playing Ghost Routes and clicking these trees. This node is really cool, pretty good, especially if you're doing Expedition, because you will recover 2% of energy shield on kill. And that is pretty good sustain. Other than that, you want Ghost Stance for sustain, and later on I'm also going to pick this, but it's not gonna provide a lot of leech per second, but it's still pretty good. Otherwise, for your defenses, I go all the way down to Inveterate to get spell suppression, and then I also have Instinct. Other than that, your golems also provide you, your stone golem also provides you increased defenses. Other than that, I like to use a Jade Flask, a Quicksilver for faster shield charge, Jade for higher avoidance. Right now I have 12.5k evasion without the Jade Flask. With the Jade Flask I have 20,000. And Quartz Flask for Expedition is pretty important. So, gem setup, use Creeping Frost Vortex in your 5 or 6 link. And you have your 4-link Cold Snap with Bone Chill, Control Destruction. I did Cruelty because this is a this is a Strength Dexterity base. Ideally I would get 4 blue, but because it's a Strength Dex base, I'm not gonna bother getting 4 blue yet on it, because it will require quite a lot of jewelers. So for now I only have Cruelty. Here the last link is going to be Arcane Search Quarry. I have Swift Affliction right now. For your mobility, you use pretty straightforward shield charge, fast attacks. I have momentum support and flame dash. I have Tempest Shield. Initially I had Melvins instead of Tempest Shield and Flesh and Stone. Now I have Tempest Shield and Flesh and Stone because I feel like I have enough damage, so I want to go more into defense. So I don't need Melvin's Frost Bomb. You can also use for so that enemies have reduced life regeneration. I have already exposure on hit through the Eye of Malice, so I don't need it the exposure from Frostborn really. So Frostbite pretty straightforward. Your golems, Stone Golem, Chaos Golem for Chaos Dot, not Chaos Dot, for Cold Dot over damage over time multiplier. Flame Golem pretty straightforward. Lightning Golem is gonna help a lot with mana sustain. Otherwise you won't be able to cast you won't be able to sustain your spells, and you would have to go Eldritch Battery. So that's why you go Lightning Golem with this node. You will have enough mana regeneration rate, or you can always get a mana regeneration rate ring. And for your Ascendancies, I went first with the Golems. Provide a lot of quality life, attack and cast speed. They also give you damage. So really good. Then you can go Mastermind of Discord, or the minus resistances in the region, and the Convergence, the Heart of Destruction to gain either Convergence or have 60% increased area effect. And last I went Shape of Storms. Shape of Storms you can scale with, as previously mentioned, with increased effect of non-damaging ailments. So this is a lot of damage. If you don't want more damage, you can go Bastion of Elements. And that's basically it. Pretty straightforward tree otherwise. And I'm gonna continue streaming this build on Twitch. So if you have any questions, you can ask me there. Right, bye.